This is the 17th issue to the series of videos Returning to Father's Principle. Hello, we are Aletheia Nails. Our name is Greek for Temple of Truth. The Greek word for truth, aletheia, means disclosure or having the secret revealed. Returning to Father's Principle was made with the hope for blessed families to return back to Father's teachings because the current Unification movement is distant from Father's Principle. Many of the hidden truths are becoming revealed. We have been testifying through these series of videos that now is the time of need to return to Father's Principle. The theme for this 17th issue is the age right now is seeking for its last religion. How does everyone feel about this theme? The last religion is the religion of the Second Advent, and this religion is none other than the Unification Church, or also known as the current Family Federation for World Peace. The 8 great textbooks that the Second Advent has given us is the final salvation for all humankind. Don't many think of this as the truth? At the same time, aren't there people who want to believe that the Family Federation for World Peace is the last religion? But with the current situation with the church organization, the confusion spurring around the organization, it is becoming hard to believe. For this 17th issue, we would like to look at what allows a religion to be considered the last religion by looking at the original essence of the last religion, rather than viewing the external activities that the last religion must do. Let us first look at the divine principle. The divine principle states, God created the physical self of the first humans before creating their spiritual self. Accordingly, in the providence of restoration, God recreates us by restoring first what is external and then what is internal. In the same way, God first worked to restore our external social environment through science, and then worked to restore our spirituality through religion. In the order of creation, angels who are external were created before people who are internal. In restoration, God first raises up the angelic world, which is external, and mobilizes it for restoring the external physical world, centering on the human body, and then the internal spirit world, centering on the human spirit. In the divine principle, it is written that what the external was created first, and through the external, the internal was created. The divine principle describes that God created the external world that we can see, such as the environment and the physical self, for the sole purpose of creating the internal and corporeal world. The creation of the internal and corporeal world is the creation of a heart of love, and this is the growth and the completion of the spirit self. This process is a process that God cannot intervene because it is the human portion of responsibility. Due to the human fall, the internal, or the creation of a heart of love, could not be completed. In fact, because of the fall, human beings became obsessed with money, social hierarchy, fame, authority, environment, and anything external. Human beings became self-centered by prioritizing their own self rather than the other. Let us look at another of Father's word. True Father said, "Peace movements always encountered limitations and failure throughout history because imperfect human beings carried them out." What did True Father mean when he said imperfect human beings? Imperfect means being in a state of contradiction and destruction by the disunity of the mind and body. The original mind of wanting to live for the sake of the other and the evil mind of wanting to be self-centered are always battling each other. This state is what we call the human fall. True Father was saying how fallen human beings, having this kind of fallen nature to be self-centered, brings limitations to peace movements. No matter what kind and how many peace movements people may do, if the fundamental heart of the human being, or the heart of self-centeredness, does not change to a heart of altruistic love, then it is impossible to construct a world of true peace. True Father also stated this: there should be a revolution of a new love centering on God's love. However, this revolution of true love is the most difficult out of all the revolutions in the world for human beings. Everyone, please think about this. The revolution of love is God's revolution of changing the self-centered humanistic love to God's love that is centering on God. This movement is absolutely necessary for human beings. It is not just for God. Ever since history began, this is what God and humankind has been longing for. Realizing and having hope in this ideal can only come about through the revolution of love. Only through the revolution of love can the construction of the ideal world that humankind has longed for can be possible. The revolution of love is the change from the self-centered love of fallen human beings to a God-centered altruistic love through God's love. In the fallen world, however, there is no God's love. True love cannot be found anywhere. That is why we need a substantial Messiah who brings God's true love onto this earth. When we are connected to this true love, we can fulfill a historical revolution for the first time. Buds, we summarized the 17th issue of Returning to Father's Principle with the following. As written in the principle of creation, our final destination is the perfection of the spirit self through the life of the physical self on earth, and to breathe God's love eternally in the world of heaven. The perfection of the spirit self is the completion of love, and the Messiah has prepared an environment for us to perfect our love in the form of what we have been calling the providence. We have been participating in many of the external providential movements, but the purpose of all that was to restore the internal incorporeal world centering on the spirit self, as written in the principle. The restoration of the incorporeal world is the creation and expansion of true love. As how the external form is created from the internal nature, the restoration of the incorporeal world will definitely be manifested as a change in the external corporeal world. Our internal revolution, or in other words, the creation expansion of true love, will solve many of the problems in this society today for the first time. The revolution of the original heart is what True Father showed us as the revolution of values and the revolution of love. The role of the last religion is to fulfill this revolution. Just as how a tree will die without its roots, without the revolution of values and the revolution of love, there is a limit to peace movements and political activities. What is most required now and what this age is desiring now, that is the last religion. The last religion must fulfill the revolution of love more than participating in external volunteering activities. As stated, through the revolution of love, the great change from a self-centered heart to an altruistic heart, there can be a 180-degree change in the value system. The last religion is the place to fulfill this change. To fulfill the mission of the last religion, True Father prepared the Unification Church. Therefore, in order for us to fulfill the mission and the responsibility of the last religion, we must connect ourselves to True Father's true love. Throughout True Father's life, he held many proclamations and assemblies as well as development of many enterprises. However, all of this was for the creation of an external environment. True Father has given us this environment as a providence. As we participated in this providence, we were to see the internal world of heart, the creation of the world of love through these activities. With this, the providence of restoration was supposed to reach its completion and conclusion. Viewing from this perspective, the mission of various countries was witnessing, enterprise activities, and other multiple involvements. But the mission of the last religion cannot be fulfilled by just following these external environments blindly. What is most critical and important is for each member to restore God's love and substantiate that love through the environment. The theme for this 17th issue was, "The age right now is seeking for its last religion." Christianity began from the sacrificial love of Jesus. The root of Christianity was the true love. And Christianity's root was showing the true love of Jesus. However, where is the flame of faith of the Christians now, who carried the cross of Jesus onto themselves and testified the love of Jesus regardless of being persecuted and dying as a martyr? Isn't Christianity nowadays becoming a religion of rituals and a place for ceremonial occasions? The flame of faith and love is in the brink of disappearing. The Unification Church and the current Family Federation for World Peace began from the root of True Father, who came as the last Messiah. The church stated and started with the goal of fulfilling the revolution of love and creating a world of true peace. The Unification Church was not just a church doing organizational activities and external movements. The most important action to take to fulfill the mission of the last religion is to return back to Father's Word and engraft into the true love of True Father. True Father has shown this in his 93-year life course. He has shown to us how to correctly understand true love. In the Chonsongyong, True Father said that the purpose of God's creation of human beings was for God to have a body. According to Father's word, God did not leave even 1 ounce of energy when he was creating life in the environment. Not leaving 1 ounce of energy meant that God had the motivation of love, and with this motivation he invested his life, his original external form. We must receive this kind of love of God who used his body to create us. In return for this love, we need to allow our bodies to become his temple. By connecting with the true love of True Father and becoming God's body of love, we can become a herd who fulfills the revolution of love together with True Father. He has longed to fulfill this revolution by offering his entire life. We hope that people can be modest and be interested in watching the next video. Thank you for watching.